Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk movies, television, and wrestling. I'm, of course, the Lemon himself, Z. Clemone, and this is my review for Episode 4 of Paradise Season 2. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way. Share, to leave a like, comment below, let me know your thoughts on Paradise, and, of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate all that out of the way. Let's get into it, shall we? So, Paradise. Such a fucking misleading title, if I've ever heard one. I really do admire the balls on this show to do the things that they have done when it comes to structure, introducing characters, and when it's time for that character to go. Season 1, I remember really getting attached to Pace and getting really excited to see what his journey is going to go through, only for him to die in that episode immediately. And our new character, Annie, our whole premiere is centered on her, and for us to get attached to her. And then we're not even going to focus on her in episodes 2 and 3. And then here we are, we bring her back. Now her and Xavier are together. They're getting to know each other pretty well. They come to an understanding, okay, you can't take me to Colorado, fine. But once we get to Atlanta and we meet your wife, will you take me to Colorado? Absolutely. And then, they start going on their journey. And I love I really thought this was going to be a theme for the whole entire season. And maybe it still will be. And they're going to go the other route with it. But, Annie being so scared of every person that she meets. She was like this before the world ended, where, she just has to she has to do things on her own. She cannot rely on anyone. We saw how she reacted when there was the first sign of actual people that were coming into it. A guard was immediately up. She was spitting on leaves. She was doing all these different things. Took her 4 days to finally go, okay, what they're cooking actually smells good. Let me go talk to them. And, hey, I just don't trust people at all. Hey, Xavier, don't say hi to them. And then Xavier is ignoring it. Like, hey, how you doing? Doing fine. And then, they're walking away. And they get to this diner. He's showing her how to tighten up. I don't know. I forgot exactly what it's called. I'm not a parent yet. Hopefully I am blessed to be one if it's in the cards. But, her water breaks. This is going to happen one way or another. Okay, what's everything that we need to in order to deliver this baby? Oh, we don't have that. I'm going to go talk to the people. Xavier, don't leave me alone. He books it, talks to them. They actually turn out to be good people. They come to help her out. She has the baby. The placenta ain't coming out. They're trying to force it out. She goes, no, I knew this was going to happen. Which I wish they elaborated on that a little bit more. And Annie fucking dies. I was like, we spent a whole... I was like, no, something's going to happen. They're going to break out. I know she's saying no, but, this is when she's going to come around. They're going to pull it out. They're going to do something. It's going to be like an emergency C-section all the way to get this goddamn placenta out. But no, she died. And my heart broke, and I was having a great day yesterday while watching this. Got off work. I was going to have tomorrow off. Monday, I was having Tuesday off. I watched wrestling. It was a pretty decent episode, Monday Night Raw. That review should be up. If not, it should be up shortly. Then I put this on, hey, final thing. Let's put this on as we're winding down to go to sleep. When I tell you after this episode was over, I was up for another hour or two because I was just so heartbroken by everything that we did with Annie. I like the intercutting of the flashbacks of this episode too, with the president. Hey, we're going to have our first baby here. I thought that baby was going to die. I thought that was going to be the heartbreak because he was so scared. Xavier was so scared. And when was the last time you saw a pregnant woman that triggered the flashback? And, it was a nice way to see, I believe the president's name was Cal. I don't recall his name, but James Marsden. They have really done a lot for me to start liking him a little bit more. He was always charming, but to actually have that care. I love the scene of, I'm going in there with her because she's scared. She doesn't want to be alone. And he's like, Mr. President, I'm not going to let you go in there without security. He goes, well, then scrub up. And I was like, hell yeah, that was awesome. And how he was just, guiding her the whole way through, giving her a lot of comfort as the doctors leave. You see that? They left because there's nothing left to do. You're going to be strong. You're going to be okay. You're going to be all these different things. It was really good, everything that we were doing there. Here's where my problem comes into play. And it doesn't come within the episode itself. Because overall, the episode, I really liked it. I was all on board with this adventure with Xavier and Annie. Now it's just going to be Xavier's adventure now that he has with this infant with him. He gets at the end his wife's not there. His wife has been taken, is what was told to us. And then Link gets to paradise, and now the threat is on. Let us in, take me to your leader, or I will not ask nicely next time. What's going to happen? This week, very Xavier heavy and Annie. Next week, I would assume it's going to be very paradise heavy. Now, I have not watched all of season 1 again in preparation to watch this show. I usually don't do that. I usually have a pretty good memory. So if I am wrong here, which does tend to happen from time to time, but I'm pretty confident in this. In season 1, it was pretty linear all the way through, right? We were in paradise, there was the paradise storyline, and then there was the flashback that tied into the overall theme of the episode within that episode, right? Usually mostly focusing with Xavier. Here, now that the cast is so expanded, granted, now that we only got the 2, we're now locked in. Link's now with the paradise, Annie is gone, and Xavier's traveling. I think we need to address the flashbacks to see, do we really necessarily need them? Now, I'm all for, the plate of food, A, B, and C storyline. Xavier being the steak, paradise being the potatoes, and then the flashbacks can be the greens on our plate, right? On the priorities of the use of those. I'm not a huge fan of now going to a paradise-centric episode because, last week, the paradise episode was the weakest of the 3, right? Now it got really interesting towards the end. I am intrigued to go back to paradise and see everything that's going on over there. What are we going to do about the new president? How is this all going to play? Is our girl going to be able to get out of the claims that she has been claimed from our ruthless assassin that is in paradise? What is Sinatra to do? Are we actually going to turn her baby face, even though she has all these heel tendencies? Bad guy tendencies, good guy tendencies. Sorry. Using my wrestling lingo. I literally just got done with the Monday Night Raw review as of recording this. But yeah, Sinatra was such a bad guy in season 1. And we teased, maybe she is going to go good guy. And, I love the ending of her, how, again, straight gangster, like, oh, I already took care of the president problem. So, again, she still has those bad guy tendencies, those heel tendencies with her. But in this episode, we kind of showed that, that good guy side of her, how, she's holding that baby, like, you will see the sun again. You are not only going to grow up here, and how the pure joy that she had, seeing a life coming from it. There is that tenderness that is within Sinatra. So I am curious to go back to that. I just don't need it necessarily to be the focus. I don't want to spend a whole hour away from Xavier, especially now that we are entering the second half of the season now. There's only 8 episodes to go paradise, Xavier, paradise, and then I would assume merge them together. I am nervous to see how we are going to land this, because again, now that it is so expanded and it is so big, and the world is now the world and not just paradise at this point. But again, overall, this week's episode, really did enjoy it. As much as I am mad that they tore Annie away from me after spending the whole premiere me getting attached to her, I admire it. I admire the choice. I'm excited to see where we are heading towards. I love the show. It is really good. I was like, yeah, nothing's going to beat this. Night of the Seven Kingdoms is going to be the #1 TV show. Paradise said, hold my beer. Go on the ride that we're going to take you on. You might be singing a different tune. And this is going to be a stacked March. We got Daredevil coming up very shortly. We got The Boys coming up very shortly. And Invincible all coming within this month. And we all know how much I love those shows. Paradise is really making a strong case that I might be anticipating the Mondays more, not just because of wrestling, but because of Paradise, as opposed to the Thursdays with the Invincible and The Boys, and then I think Daredevil's on Wednesday. So it's gonna be a fun time once all those shows are going at the exact same time here. But yeah, let me know y'all thoughts on Paradise down in the comment section. Leave a like if you made this part of the review. I do greatly appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button, as I am trying to grow into my YouTube career. And don't forget to squeeze the days, guys, because life is too short not to give your all. So squeeze every opportunity that you can. And until next time, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.